Hello, my name is Marha. These are my group members Andrea, Najiha, Litong, and Diana. The film we've decided to analyze is The Joker. So, The Joker is actually a movie about a guy named Arthur Fleck. He's a normal guy with a dream to be a comedian, but he's constantly looked down on. He's shunned, harassed by society. So he goes to a point where he thinks that rebellion is the only way to get what he wants, and he justifies that his actions are because of the way that people treated him. So he's a criminal after being a victim of bullying and being ridiculed.
One of the core values is basically humanity. And basically, it says that as a media practitioner, we are actually supposed to be aware of like the consequences of what we actually put out there. Because the images we post, the movie we show, can actually do damage if it's not like broadcast in a proper way or ethical way. And as a media practitioner, our job is also to like minimize harm, right?
Yes.
If you ask me whether or not this movie was ethical, I would say it's not. Because firstly, if we actually watch the movie, it kind of like stigmatizes mental illness. Because from the movie, we can see that Arthur actually became the Joker after he was bullied, right? So he became bullied to the point he became mentally disturbed and
Yes,
and
yes.
because of that, he thought like the only way to like solve all this corruption and whatnot is to kill all these corrupted people and those who have done wrong against him. So if we when the media actually broadcasts a plot line like this, right, it kind of gives out a message that mental illness can lead to violence. So when this happens, society will then start perceiving like mentally ill people to be dangerous when they are not. And then they are not minimizing harm because it makes like mentally ill people seem not human, not humane. Yeah, that's why. Anybody want to add on?
Okay, you guys are talking about the majority side of it, like mental normal people, right? But actually, for people who are depressed or having mental illness, when after they watch the movie, they actually feel like, oh, somebody understood me. People, this is what I wanted to do all this time, and somebody actually make a movie about it. Yeah, so actually, this kind of thing actually has but many conversation about violence and mental illness. So the film actually clearly intend to make a statement about how the society treat people with mental illness. Actually, it is happening in our society now. Actually, if you are walking by the street and you see someone with mental illness, definitely you won't walk near to them, right? Yeah, so actually, this movie helped a lot of people to understand more about how these people think in our daily life. Most of the time, we seem to like neglect them or ignore them. But on the good side, actually, this movie raised more awareness, right? But yeah, but the backlash is what turned out is more people are using this to justify their feeling and their action.
Yes.
Yeah, those violent people, they take this to justify it.
They take this movie as an advantage for them to be violence towards people.
Yeah.
There's also another thing I want to add on. Like you guys said something about, I noticed you guys mentioned a lot about like how this movie is justifying violence. And one of the things I want to touch on over here is called the dissonance of framing. So it is a situation whereby what the movie is trying to say actually conflicts with what is being portrayed. So actually, right, the creators behind this movie have said that it's not their intention to have people justify or glorify violence like you guys. And although we know that it's not the film's intent to glorify violence, but if you like the way the visuals are, the plot line of the story, and the way like how the visuals look when the camera like pans to the main character as he like stands in confidence, like after committing so many murders, it kind of tells the image like they are trying to promote violence, which is not minimizing harm.
They kind of like support the violence.
Yeah, because you see like this violent person like being so confident even after like the police is trying to like chase him and whatnot. So that's like another question to ask, like, is it ethical to actually show something like that, like to the public?
Because the outcome or like the after effect, I can say, of the movie is overall considered negative, right? Yeah, it doesn't really have any positive. Although the positive side is that like normal people will understand more in depth of mental illnesses, but more negative outcome is coming out from this movie. That's why I also think that it's considered unethical.
For me, my personal opinion is I don't actually think the media practitioners should be held accountable because something we need to understand here is that this movie is just fiction. It's not meant to serve as an like endorsement to real life violence of any kind. And at the end of the day, the media practitioners behind this movie are only doing their job as directors, producers, actors, and crews of broadcasting and whatnot. So it is part of their job to actually turn a comic or and whatnot into a motion picture. And over here, I want to apply Aristotle's theory on being virtuous. So according to Aristotle, being virtuous is about finding the golden mean, which lies in the midpoint between two extreme vices, which include the excess and deficiency. Excess means doing too much of something, and deficiency means doing too little of something. So in this case, I think that the media practitioners are being virtuous, and they should not be held accountable because they're actually fulfilling their duty as part of a motion picture production crew. They are doing the right thing at the right place. They have the proper skills and the right people. So another thing I want to talk about is the controversy that the film is portraying much of violence, because if we actually follow up on the backstory behind the production of this movie, the filmmakers have mentioned that they are only showing what is being told in the comics. In this case, they are not acting obsessed because they are not adding like any unnecessary violence into the movie. And on the other hand, if they refuse to portray these scenes in the movie, then for me, they are acting on deficiency because they are not doing the comic any justice by like stripping multiple scenes out. And they do this, they are also like disregarding many aspects behind like the backstory of this character. And because of this, I feel like the production should not be held accountable because at the end of the day, they are only just doing their job. It's just fiction. So that's my opinion. You guys?
Okay. So, in my opinion, that the director should be held accountable for whatever the outcome of this film, because something we need to understand here is the media's power in the concept of framing. So since the Joker is a movie, the visual that presented during this film in this film it can be influenced by the audience compared to be what they said, they are more influenced in the violent because it show most violent rather than the what they want to send the message. So and there are many instances in this movie where they are similar with the violence, and also the violent situation seems to be justified over and over again because they keep on giving us the scene where violence is the thing that we can do to other people.
Yeah, because the movie was like he when he did something bad, the movie is trying to say when he did something bad is because he tried to be nice before,
yeah.
but people are treating him that way, so he treat them back that way,
Yeah,
right?
yes, correct. And then when this happened, the media practitioner is setting like an agenda to the public that violence is the justifiable. This is something like actually it's not ethical to show to the audience, and this could be potential result in more violence in public will happen in future, because they seems like support this act, this violence act. In my opinion, when this happened, the media practitioners could be held accountable because of the way they frame the message of this film. So for me, I agree that the media practitioners should be held for the accountable for the outcome of this film. Okay.
So for if we apply Kantian has the theory that right is right and wrong is wrong, no matter what. And if you want to find out what is ethical or not, he does follow the two rules: humanity and universal law, where humanity is whether they're giving any respect to the person, any dignity, anything like that, and universal law being if that can happen to that person, is it okay for it to happen to everyone? So if we apply humanity with this, it would be unethical, because when this movie came out, it doesn't do any justice for the people that are actually mentally ill. It doesn't portray those with mental illnesses in a good light.
Yes.
It shows that, oh, if you're mentally ill, then at some point you're going to commit some sort of crime because you're getting bullied. This is this, and it doesn't show them as good people. So it's not giving them any respect, where in real life it's not like that for anyone who's mentally ill. So it would be unethical in that sense.
So the universal law, it refers to the idea that every maxim you act be such you are willing to do it. Like everyone act on the maxim when it put in a similar situation. Universal law also states that you are not allowed to do any action that you are not willing to do, that others do to you as well. So in another word is Kantian theory makes zero exception for anyone. So what is right is right, wrong is wrong.
Yeah. So if we look at it from the Kantian theory aspect, I don't think it is actually like, I think the media practitioners should be held accountable if we view it in this aspect of humanity, especially like Lilo mentioned. But in terms of universal law, I think it's still okay, because their job is to actually turn like stories into motion pictures, and I think that is a concept that everyone can actually do, because it's their job. Like where you can see some directors doing this. So like if someone made a movie out of a book, I don't think that should be a problem. But since this movie kind of violates the second principle of Kantian theory, which is the idea of humanity, then the media practitioners should be held accountable for that. So public interest, if we look at it in terms of the media, right, it's basically about the media's responsibility in like bringing benefits to society as a whole, and it's about minimizing harm as well, which is one of the code of ethics in the media. So over here we can actually apply Mill's theory. Yeah.
So Mill's theory, it's meaning that it serves minimize harm and maximize pleasure. It's not like Kantian theory, a focus on the outcome of one's behavior rather than the motivate. So that this theory serves to provide a greater outcome for the greater good is if an action produces more good than harm, then it's ethical. So when we apply Muse theory to study this movie about public interest, I would say it doesn't because it um how to say potentially inspire more mass killing. It's like there were in this case for about is that Aurora or something in 2012, whereby a man entered one of the screening the off for the Dark Knight and shot the people inside the theater. So this one is he was dressed like the Joker and he claimed that the fictional character inspired him to do that. So when the media broadcast this film, it leads us to think that the movie inspired more mass shooting and for this case, more people will end up getting hurt. So this directly make the movie lack public interest.
Yeah, that's something I can kind of agree on well, because if we're looking at the consequences of this movie, it does glorify violence. And if you notice, like, I noticed that this is kind of like a pattern, because you view like the documentaries for like mass shootings in the US, they also use this kind of like storyline, how they say like, oh, they did wrong to me, that's why I shot them. So when the movie does something like this, I agree that it will result in like more mass shootings to occur, and because of that, it does not minimize harm. And since it does not minimize harm, then it lacks public interest. If we look at it from news theory.
And most mass shooting, they dress up like they are in the character. For example, like this is in Little Little Right? He dressed as a Joker. And it says that it inspired him to be the killer.
So if you look at it from that aspect, it does not actually minimize harm because of its influence and like glorification of violence and